Hello and welcome back to another episode of Saving Scunthorpe, and we're back today for the Europa League playoffs, where we've got every chance of getting through into the knockout rounds. So it's been a while since you were last with us, which was back at the start of December. We are now on the 9th of February, and in that time we have followed up our wins in the last episode with a 4-0 loss to Newcastle. We then bounced back with a 1-0 win against Norwich, a 2-1 win against Bournemouth. We had a 4-1 thrashing from Aston Villa before we drew 0-0 with Brighton. 1-0 win against Nottingham Forest. We saw off Cambridge United in the FA Cup in the second attempt on the replay. And Brentford, we came from behind in the 91st and 96th minute to FM Brentford themselves and win 2-1. Since then, there's been a lot of red. However, most of it understandable. We had a 1-0 loss to Arsenal, which they are recently three-time champions of the Premier League. I think they finished second when they haven't won it, so can't complain too much about that. We lost 1-0 to Trabzonspor, which was very disappointing. However, we were absolutely dominated the game before a red card for a certain someone. So I guess you could say, cheers Nador. We then had a 2-1 loss to Rochdale in the FA Cup, which was very disappointing, particularly because we absolutely should be beating them. But nevertheless, it happened, and we end our FA Cup defence in disappointing fashion. We then had a 3-1 loss to Sevilla back in the Europa League. Not too unhappy with that. I was planning to come back for those two games. However, once we got the Trabzonspor loss, we knew we couldn't finish in the Europa League top 8. But we were guaranteed the playoffs. So I decided we'd just come back for the playoffs instead. And then following that, we had a 1-0 loss to Manchester United. Again, not anything we can be too unhappy about with a loss to them. And then most recently a 2-0 loss to Liverpool, which again is fairly understandable given that we were away from home. That does mean in the league we are currently in 12th place and doing pretty well. We're 7 points away from the relegation zone with a game in hand over most of the teams below us. One of them being Chelsea, which is a bit odd. And we can't complain about how our first season is going in the Premier League. One thing that I do just want to point out is right here, Manchester City have Beckman on 26 goals. He is 10 goals ahead of third place Tom Davidson. And he is still 2 goals behind Erling Haaland. Manchester City are an absolute joke this year. As you can see over here as well, their goal difference is 41 better than second place. 41. And if we go in and actually have a look at their season, you can see here they've scored 95 goals in 24 games. They've scored 10 against Everton and Fulham. What's worrying is if they've scored 5 against a team in their one game, they've scored 5 against them in their second game. They scored 5 against us. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Say if you're doing the maths, that is an average of 3.8 goals per game. That is unheard of, particularly over that stretch of time. And if they were to continue that form until the end of the season, they would end up with a total of 144 goals. As a little side thing, let me know in the comments down below how many goals you think they will end up on. I'm going to say 134. I reckon they will drop off, but not too much, is my prediction. There's only 13 games to go, to be fair, so that seems very much in reach. Let me know what you think down below. And while you're there, you might as well hit that subscribe button and leave us a like as well, because everything helps the channel, and it's massively appreciated if you do that. And let's have a quick look at what went on in the Europa League. So we ended up finishing 16th in the end with those 2 losses. Had we won those 2, theoretically, we would have been in the battle for that 8th spot. In theory, we'd have taken 3 points off Sevilla and finished in that 8th spot. But obviously, it's not quite as simple as that. But we were very much in contention of it until we lost to Trabzonspor. Bit odd that Derry City have managed to get through. That's very impressive for them, to be fair to them. With wins against Sparta Prague, it is due to wins and draws against teams that were in pot 3 and 4. But that's kind of the point of the new system, isn't it? Give you more games where you're more likely to pick up some points, and you can you can find yourself in there. So fair play to Derry City for that. Not our focus though. Our focus is Benfica, who we have drawn. And we've had a slight problem because what's that? I'm getting news that Andrew forgot to record the first leg. Surely you wouldn't do that. No, that's exactly what I did. We went away to Benfica in the first leg. We had a 1-1 draw. We'll quickly show you the goals. So the first one was a João Mendes own goal as a result of a Chernador shot from the edge of the box. I initially thought it had come off Bjarnason. However, obviously, own goal from Mendes confirms it wasn't. You can kind of see why I thought it was off Bjarnason. He was right next to it. And then late on in the game, they started to really get on top of us at the end. And that ball through to Mabena was absolutely perfect. Lovely finish from him as well, to be fair. Would have liked to have seen more from Smith, who was there at the time, to get a block on the pass. But it's by the by. Wasn't to be. We're going to the second game at 1-1. I don't think that's too bad of a spot for us to be. We're going to go and play the Leicester game in between time. And have we got any transfer news to talk about? Not really. We've sent Monroe out. We've sent Forker out. But that's it really. There are a couple of clauses with these guys. So Forker, they've got an optional fee of 36 million. I'm hoping they take that up. If not, he's probably going in the summer anyway. Monroe also, no, he doesn't have anything, but he is due to expire at the end of the season anyway, and he's unlikely to be renewed. So yeah, not really any transfer news either. But I'll go and play Leicester. They are 19th, so hopefully we can pick up a win there, and we can then go into that Europa League game with a bit of momentum. Well, you'll be happy to know we won 3-2 against Leicester, so a very nice result that's pushed us a little bit higher away from the relegation zone, which is an extra bonus. Our lineup today against Benfica, we've got Izaguirre in goal, a back four of Gachust, Julian, Nallo and Smith. Nador is the holding midfield with Umanai in the middle, Dujardin on the right, Leverstad in the number 10, Campbell on the left and Connor up front. An early corner kick here, Campbell sends it into the far post, Connor's there! But misses the post. What a goal that would have been. Chico with a free kick for Benfica. He sends it over the bar. And it remains 0-0. Izaguirre with the goal kick here. Sends it long towards Umanai, but he loses the header. Nallo collects it though, and then Julian plays it back to Izaguirre. We've got time on the ball here. Izaguirre goes long towards Connor, who wins the header, nods it back to Umanai. Finds Smith. Goes down the wing. Gets past his man, and a chance for a cross here goes towards Dujardin, who heads it down to Leverstad. Oh my goodness, how's that not gone in? Umanai tackles, Neto collects it, and somehow we are not leading. 0-0 at the break, 1-1 still on aggregate. At the moment, we'd absolutely love away goals, but they don't exist anymore. But hopefully, we can grab a goal in this leg and give ourselves an advantage. Goncalves on the ball for Benfica here. Ball over the top, finds Jallo and Izaguirre with a very important save there to keep us at 0-0. And now we're going to make a change. Nador's going to come off for Raven, who's going to go to right back. Kajust, actually, we'll send Lamptey on instead as a full back on support. Camden can come on for Julian just because he's starting to look a bit tired. And Campbell off for Lyle Foster. Goncalves with a throw-in for Benfica. I don't know if this is just because we'd be making those subs, but a ball is collected by Smith and he clears it away to Connor, who brings it down beautifully, and he's tried to get in behind, but unfortunately Dantes managed to outpace him and take the ball away. Vasco plays it back to Mendes for Benfica and across to Betella. And they're going to play out from the back here. Dantes finding Vasco and Smith intercepting that pass nice and easily. Izaguirre plays it out to Julian and it's back to Izaguirre, and then Kajust. Julian clears it away upfield towards Leverstad, who's brought it down nicely on the right hand side. Got support with him. Ball into the box. Connor's in there, but he heads it straight at the keeper. We're going to bring Umanai off now for Raven, who this time will actually come on, and Leverstad I would like to bring off, but I don't think we can, unfortunately. So we'll bring Connor off for Tezgel for the last 10 minutes or so. Mendes on the ball at the back for Benfica, plays it short to Dantes, and then a ball through to Jallo. Nallo with an important tackle, but it comes back to Vasco. Smith clears it away, it goes back to Vasco. Oh, what a brutal way for them to score. We won the ball back off them at least twice. We do have a highlight straight from the kickoff though. Raven gets the ball from Nallo, and it's back to Nallo at the back here. Raven on to Foster. Down the wing to Smith. He's got plenty of men in the box. Oh, why has he gone for goal by himself? If he squares that, Tezgel's got a nearly empty net. Smith on the ball here. Throws it short to Raven and gets it back. Inside to Raven, who plays the ball to Leverstad. Oh, he hits the outside of the post. Leverstad with a free kick late on. He curls it just over the bar, and that is probably all that we've got time for. Nallo with a free kick. But it feels like there are absolute seconds remaining. Nallo pumps it forward towards Tezgel. He keeps it in play. Plays it to Dujardin. Drills it in. Raven. Oh my God. We've equalised in the 96th minute. Scunthorpe will not die. Back on level terms. We're going to extra time. What a moment there at the end of the game for Raven to score. Let's tell them to dig in now. And let's see if we can pull something off. We could do with making our change, but I'm not really sure what to do. Leverstad come off for Brinkhurst. Oh, maybe not. Leverstad off for Hatton. Hatton can go as a shadow striker and see if we can find a way through in this extra time. Goncalves with a throw in for Benfica. It's back to Mendes. And then he plays it to Vasco. Out to Sidibe. He's going to take on Smith on the left-hand side. Puts it across the box. It's a penalty. Somewhere in that, the referee is given a penalty. Apparently Camden fouled his man. It even says it looks a harsh decision. And he sends Izagirre the wrong way. And we've got work to do again. Batella with a free kick at the back for Benfica. Vasco plays it out to Chico. And then on to Tengstedt. He's forced backwards to Goncalves. Hatton has nicked the ball. Lyle Foster's gone down on the other side of the pitch. But Hatton into the box. Shoots. And it's saved. Raven's going to go and collect it. He can't get to it. Lyle Foster's got to come off. We've got no substitutions left. So nothing we can do about that. Smith throws it to Lavin. Ball into the box. Dujardin's at the far post, but the keeper comes out and claims it. A goal kick for Benfica now. We are in the dying moments of this game. Sidibe over the top finds Thiago Thomas one-on-one with Izagirre, and that is potentially game over. We have got a VAR check. And it counts. The Scunthorpe's European adventure is over at the hands of Benfica. I really thought when we got that late equaliser, we were on to something special, but it wasn't to be. Now all we need to do is make sure that we stay in the Premier League. And with that in mind, I think unless anything goes drastically wrong in the meantime, we will just come back at the end of the season. Potentially for the Aston Villa and Brighton game, maybe just for the Brighton game if we are completely safe. We'll let you know when we come back what will happen. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Comment if you're happy to see us sat up in 11th place above Chelsea in the Premier League. We are on the verge of being able to finish in the top half. And winning that game in hand sends us into it. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content on the channel. And thank you very much for watching.